Hi, this is Dana. Welcome on my channel where I speak about spiritual warfare. In this video, God asked me to talk about choosing a partner, about partnership, about couple. In fact, God said, you mentioned in so many videos um, how individuals shouldn't choose a partner, shouldn't accept the karmic back, and so on. And you should now make a video with more of a positive approach and talk about how they should choose one. So here we go. I will give it a shot to see how much information I can put in this video. Most probably not all of it. So I think I try to sort of make a list of priorities, and I think on first position I would place the issue of power and ranking should be the first criteria for choosing your partner. And I will explain this. This is something that I would have never thought of or considered even or accepted before I started my conscious spiritual fighting. Um, I always thought that, when you make a couple, you should choose with your heart, you should choose someone you love, and so on, which is still true. But it's not on the first place anymore for me. Because as I went through the conscious spiritual fighting, I understood how much harm can a partner who's not on your level of power and ranking can bring into your life, how much harm he can do to you, sometimes consciously, sometimes maybe not in with intention. And I will explain a little bit more. It must be comparable. Why? Because many times the type of attacks you receive are directly correlated to your level of power and ranking. As you evolve on your spiritual path, there is there are specific type of attacks which, as I said in other videos, are password encoded related to your gifts which are activated as you evolve, related to your purpose. As you get closer to achieving your purpose or to working on your purpose, then different type of attacks become activated against you. You imagine yourself advancing yourself through woods, and as you get closer you encounter different type of monsters, and uh, you, let's say, upset or you are viewed as competition by different type of secret societies, forces, and so on. As you evolve, you must do a lot of ancestral healing. You must take rights and gifts. You must learn about much of the spiritual wisdom, and much of this is being hidden by these secret societies. So you become more of I wouldn't say you become more of a threat, but you are viewed more as a threat. And so different type of attacks will come to you. Now, if next to you is a weak person, and by weak, I mean somebody who didn't evolve as much as you did, right? Or maybe somebody who is a young soul. So it's impossible for that soul to be as evolved as you, right? Or somebody who was not even conceived for the purpose for which you were conceived. So it will never evolve in the same direction with you, or at least in order to evolve on the same direction with you, would have to make more effort, right? Conscious choice and effort in order to go the same way. So there are criterias related to power level and ranking, which must be now, I believe, the first priority in choosing your partner, because neither of you should become a weakness or vulnerability or liability for the other one. Now, if you truly love someone that much, I imagine you make the effort that you advance together at the same pace, at the same time. right? Regardless of that, this is one criteria. That's a personal choice. That's a free will choice. Um, the point I'm making here is that the first criteria for choosing your partner must be the level of choosing your partner must be the level of power and ranking, and of course, ancient knowledge, spiritual knowledge, and so on, and also the willpower, the determination to fight, and so on. So next principle would be next criteria would be you must value the same things. You must have the same beliefs. You must have the same value system, because as I said, you must know that he chooses by free will, for example, harboring the same love of God as you, the same determination to stay in light. I have seen and heard many people that, they don't mind if they fall. I have heard many individuals who proclaim themselves as being very advanced spiritually, and actually they claim to be spiritual teachers, and they say it's not a big problem if you fall. God doesn't mind. I wouldn't say God doesn't mind. I would say God gives you free will, of course, and you can learn a lesson either by working hard or by falling and then having to make a redemption and going through purgatory. Of course, you can do that. You can choose to do that, but you must make sure that if your partner thinks this way, uh, it will not frustrate you. So you must make sure that you're either willing to let him go when he chooses that, or you're willing to fall with him, one of the two. So you must have the same value system, the same principles and morals, because these are actually the prerequisites which determine the level of power and the ranking, right? The determination to fight, the determination to stick with your principles, the determination to make choices which support the value and belief system that you have, and so on. The third criteria, I would say, is that you must know about yourself enough, and you must know about your partner enough. That means you must know about past lifetimes, you must know about your purpose, the divine purpose, that you have the spiritual purpose, and you must know about his free will choices, because the purpose is established by divine. Of course, the purpose can evolve depending on how much you work in terms of, or how much you fight in terms of spiritual evolution. God will always bring more gifts, more rights to you if you evolve more than you were conceived initially. So you must make sure that you have a similar purpose that is not in conflict with each other, and you must make sure that the free will choices he makes will not create a tension between you, will not bring the two of you in conflict, and so on. So you must know about all of this and about past lifetimes, but presumably you have done the past lifetime healings, because only then you break the bondages and you can reach a true a true partnership, right? Until then, you encounter karmics and karmic relations. You really step into your power when you finished with breaking bondages from past, and you're actually fighting to step into your power, to stay into your power, and to create. So presumably, you have done the past lifetimes healings, ancestral healings, and you know enough about each other. And many times it can be somebody with whom you maybe didn't share a past lifetime, because many of the bondages from past lifetimes um, involved healing deep traumas, and unless the both of you do the healing at the same time, and you have maybe like a spectacular love keeping you together, um, and a clear determination to work together so you can stay together. Otherwise, there will be a friction between the two of you. So it might be somebody with whom you don't share necessarily a past, but the two of you decide to share a present or a future. if you meet the right criteria. Another criteria I would say is that you must have a common understanding on the perspective, the expectations of related to your partnership. Is it like a long-term partnership couple, or is it like objective driven? Like I would say objective driven would be a couple which comes together to heal a past lifetime which they have together, right? Normally, this is what God would prefer, that individuals that have common karmic past would come together as a couple and heal that, um, even if they don't stay together afterwards. But usually it doesn't happen that way. Uh, in any case, you must make sure that you both have a common understanding. If And in order for this to happen, to have a common understanding about expectations, clearly you need the previous criteria met, namely to know enough about yourself and about the other, to make sure that actually the free will choice he makes, it's an informed choice. Otherwise, he will make a choice, then he learns different things about past lifetimes and he changes his mind, whatever. Another criteria, I think, you must have clear terms of reference for what spiritual couple means, what it means for you to be a couple, right? And also a clear description of what um, the role of each of you in that couple is, right? So you must agree on this. Um, Clearly, you have to have a divine blessing, first of all. Um, you must value the same things, and to make sure, because divine protection for a couple, for example, divine protection for a couple is valid only as long as neither of the two partners betrays the other. The second one, when one of them betrays the other, then the divine protection is being broken, and then all hell breaks loose, and you don't know what you encounter. You will end up with one partner making contracts on the other, and so on. Of course, there must be love and respect still, um, regardless of the other criterias. You must have the ability and determination to detach um, one from the other if one of you falls or betrays. That is very important, because this is how toxicity builds and karma builds. When you refuse to let go and you stubbornly say, I will stay here and I will make it work, you know. So if you are on the same level of evolution, more or less, you should agree on all of these. There are, of course, other issues, and I know there is one topic which God wants me to talk about, and that is the sacred union. And the sacred union falls into this criteria, where you agree about the role, the job description of each individual in the couple. But because the sacred union is supposed to be the coming into oneness of both of you, so each of you should come into oneness by itself, so then you can become oneness together. But then this is a broader topic which I cannot uh, talk about in this video, because it's already too long and it will cut too short the sacred union, which I know that God places a lot of relevance on that, also because it has a huge impact on transmuting darkness in the world. So it has a huge spiritual purpose, the sacred union. So I will make another video in talking about sacred union, but overall this would be probably the criteria which I would suggest now to be the most important in choosing your partner. um, and again, I emphasize the fact that at this point in ascension, everybody should be clear that couples have a spiritual purpose. We When we come as in 3D, we have a spiritual purpose, and coming together in a couple should also have a spiritual purpose. And this is how it was conceived by God, because the entire journey back to 5D and to God is spiritual, right? Now, as I said, they are also young souls, and they might, say, we're not in a hurry to get back home to God. We just want to fool around a little bit in 3D for a while. And this is the free will choice they make. This is why you have to have always the ability to detach from someone and to let go, because it is their choice and it might be their path. They might need to reincarnate a few times to learn their lessons and to pay the negative karma they built. They might need to do that. Um, this is only God can tell. And I said in one of my videos, for me, in my spiritual fighting, I always seek to surprise God and evolve more than He expects me to. And I suppose anybody can surprise anybody in spiritual world if they are determined enough. But you never know. I will end this video here. I think I spoke about choosing a partner, giving five main criterias, which I believe, especially at this point and from this point forward, in the ascension, must be prerequisites in choosing a partner to make a couple together. Again, this is a time when of intense conflict between light and dark. We are called to do a lot of spiritual fighting, and we must have a higher perspective over the role of a couple, as opposed to what we thought some years ago. Okay, I will stop here. I hope this is clear enough. As always, if you have questions, please do not hesitate to contact me, to ask, and I will be happy to answer. Please like, comment, and subscribe to my channel, so we'll make sure that anyone that needs the spiritual teachings that I share is able to reach them. And if you feel inclined to support my channel, you'll find the information to my PayPal account in the description box below. I want to thank to those who donated already and who have sent different forms of support. Um, I hope the teaching I'm sharing help you. And if you feel like you need more descriptions or more details, or something is not clear enough, please comment and I will be happy to respond to your questions. Okay, thank you.